Hey, what's going on? Roy Harris here, and on today's video I would like to give you a glimpse of a private lesson I did recently with a couple of my black belts. They had some interesting questions and I'd like you to see how I answered them. Ashley, you have a question?
I do. As someone who is smaller than most people, how do I deal with the larger, stronger opponents I interact with?
Okay, yeah, that can be an issue. Sensei Al, can I have you first? So, on your back, please. We'll do part one right now, the defensive part where you're forced to be on your back. I assume that's what happens with the bigger people. This is very common when you have somebody who is 120, 130, 140 pounds having to deal with somebody who is 190, 200, 200 plus. So when I want to pass your guard, I'm always going to take my forearm and penetrate the plane of your chest and the plane of your back, and I'm going to hug, and put my weight on you and make myself heavy. Does that sound familiar?
It does.
Yes. So your focus should be to keep my forearm in front of your chest, and I want you to monitor, not control my wrists. Now, this is how you start in the guard. Let's move a little farther with your feet here. I'm almost past. And so go ahead and turn onto your side. The most important arm is the forearm. This is the near arm, this is the forearm. So it's okay if I do this. You do not want this under your neck. So I want you to fight it first, long range, with your top arm. If it gets in a little closer, now you use the second hand. So even though I put all of my weight on your hips, go ahead and shrimp and replace the guard, or push me, go from my bicep to my chest and push me on my back. Again. So if it starts here, they get a little closer, they put their weight here, that's it. Does that make sense?
It does.
So part one is, I want you to get in the habit of using your hands and your forearms to kind of monitor my wrist and my forearms, please. Here's what I don't want you to do. I want you to fight the urge to put your hands on my chest or my shoulder. This is okay for people my size. But push, please.
Yeah, no.
What's the matter?
I don't have
Yes.
Not straight.
Yes. So don't fight me where I'm heaviest. You can allow this, but you know this is what's primary. And then when you're ready, you shrimp. Now let's go back. Sometimes you may have somebody putting a lot of weight on your hips. Bridge first, then shrimp. Yes. Make sense?
It does.
The bridge and the shrimp are 2 of 5 unstoppable movements. So this is how you begin the process of dealing with size and strength. Second point I'd like to make, please put me in your guard, is I'd like you to not allow them to get closer than your knees. Dealing with the feet on the hips, I'm strong enough to grab and throw. Always, 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 this is your range. Make me fight your knee, predominantly your top knee. The bottom knee is secondary, the top knee is primary. So even when I come here, that's okay. Keep the weight off, and I'm never able to get the hand under your neck. I push this off, bring the other knee into play. Make me fight your knees. Yes. How's 248 pounds feel?
Feels okay.
Feels good, yes. They're strong enough to maintain pressure. So I want your focus, number one, to be on the wrist and the forearm. And number two, bring them into a range where you can use a stronger tool like your femur to push with. Because the muscles that surround the top of the femur are strong enough to handle the weight of somebody bigger and stronger. Does that make sense?
It does, thank you.
Let me see you, Sensei Al, please. Let me see you do this with Sensei Al. So Sensei, would you pass her guard and go to the side mount? That's it. One more time. Good. Stop. I want you to go back a little bit, please, Sensei Al, like where you're on, you just passed your guard and you've gone to the side. Stop right there. I want you to change your right hand from his bicep and forearm to your right hand in the collar by the left side of his neck. Yes. Push and shrimp. Lovely. How's that feel, Sensei?
I don't like that.
Again, please.
Suboptimal.
Very good. Sensei Al, please. You have a question?
I do. Bottom half guard. Trying to either continue my upa motion or continue my elbow knee escape from the bottom half guard.
Yeah. So, let's do this. Sensei Ashley, can I have you go off camera for a little bit? So, which side? Your right side or left side?
Hook with my left leg.
Okay. So, here. So, for starters, I want you to get in the habit of, that's okay, squeeze on your back, please. Squeeze your knees together and put them to one side, and now put them to the other side. This is going to be your first primary motion, so push them from side to side. This is what you need when, yes, when they start to anchor their weight. Let's back up a little bit, please. When they start to anchor their weight with this arm, I want you to pull your left elbow to your ribs. This traps this arm, squeeze your knees together, and now violently throw both knees to your left. Yes. Good. Again.
This one pushing.
It can push, but as you can see, the legs do most of the work. Yes. Good. Sometimes you're going to set them up by not trapping this arm, so you let this arm free, and same thing with your legs. You let me put my arm out for base because you're going to do one of two things. Let's turn over this way. Number one, if my head is down here, my head meaning my head is not over top of your chest, it's over top of the side of your body. Take your left hand and grab the cloth above my shoulder, my left shoulder, first, and then put your forearm under my neck. That's it. Now you're going to push me with your head at 12 o'clock and your feet are at 6 o'clock. You're going to push me somewhere between 8 and 9 o'clock, and then shrimp away. And replace your guard. Yes, that's it. Very good. Again. So this time you don't trap the arm. You, go ahead please. You let me put my hand out for base, and because of where my head is, you're going to grab a hold of the cloth first. The reason why I'm having you grab the cloth first is because one of the most common mistakes I see is people put their forearm under the neck and they leave the hand exposed and they get caught in Americana. So first you grab the cloth and then you put the forearm under the neck and you elevate my head, that's it, and shove me to 8 or 9 o'clock. Yes, beautiful. Again, please. And come back this way a little bit. Same thing. Sometimes my head doesn't move that far. When my head is now over top of your left pec, you're going to take your left arm and go under my armpit, and simultaneously you're going to reach for the ceiling and take your bicep, place it into my armpit, and push me over here to about 10 o'clock, maybe 10:30. Yes. Throw your left leg and sit up. And now you can keep your hip on the mat. Your left hand should be next to should be grabbing my left hip. And right now your right hand is good enough for base. Make sense? Sure. Let's do this again, please. So I just passed to half guard. My arm goes out for base, but my weight doesn't go very far to your left. Here is where you go forearm under the neck. Here, this is where you go to underhook. So reach for the ceiling and then shove me. Yes. Once my weight comes alongside of you, throw your legs, sit up, grab my hip. And now you have a whole bunch of options from here. You feel that?
Yes, sir.
Good, good. One more time. So when you train this, I want you to do it 3 ways. Number 1, you trap the arm and you put me on my back. Number 2, you don't trap my arm, my weight goes out wide, and you go to forearm under the neck. And then you push and place me back in the guard. Yes. Number 3, same thing, you don't trap, but my weight doesn't move very far. Now you go to the underhook, push my weight alongside of you, and sit up. And make sure as you hug with your left hand, your left hip is close to my right hip. That way there's no space for me to do anything. Let's do this once from a different angle so they can see. So please head back here, please. So let's do number 1. Good. Number 2. Good. And number 3. That's it. Very good. How do those feel?
Very nice.
So, what sets up everything, Sensei Ashley, please come on down. What sets up everything is this fundamental movement of throwing your knees from side to side. This should be primary for most of what you're going to do from the half guard. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Does that make sense to you? I hope you have learned a little something in this lesson. And if you have questions or comments, please write them down below or go to my website, royharris.com. And finally, I want to encourage you to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't. Have a great day.